Hello, and welcome to Star Wars Obsessed. Well, I finally got it. I have been waiting for this for a long time. The vintage Grand Moff Tarkin. How did I get it? Well, the story actually goes like this.
Richard,
What?
guess what I got you?
Oh my God! These aren't even on shelves yet! How did you get them?
Well, let me tell you. So, you know how we were talking about the article that had the DCPI numbers and they were showing pictures of people actually having bought the board game, and we were like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I just kept thinking, you know, what a horrible thing it was with the 2017 40th anniversary and how hard it was for me to get you the Darth Vader with the display set. So I wanted to go and see if I could get it for you now. And so I went to Target, into a local one, and it's supposed to be a flagship store, so I thought, okay, if any of them should have it, they should have it. And I showed one of the managers there the article, and I said, look, people are already, this isn't supposed to come out until next month, but people are already saying that they're going to Target and they're able to buy it. They've even posted the DCPI number. So I was like, I don't want to miss out on getting this for you like we did. And I tell them about the whole 40th anniversary and the problems we had, told them too. I was like, I just don't want to do that again. I want to be able to get this. I just wanted to get one. I was just going to get one. And then she told me, oh yeah, I see that, we don't have any on hand. I do see stores that have it on hand, but they won't sell them to you because when they scan them, it'll say that it's not due to be released yet and they can't sell it yet. So you shouldn't have to worry about that. Just make sure you try to get it on the day of. But I kept thinking in the back of my head, she kept saying, we still have some on, there are stores that have them on hand. Now she didn't tell me which stores had them. So then I came home last night and I'm talking to you about the fact that I found this information out. And that's when you said you really want two. So I was like, thank God I didn't go and look for anything for two. But I kept thinking about it. And so this morning I'm like, she said there's stores that have them on hand. So I decided to go to another flagship store and speak to a manager there. Acted like I had not spoken to somebody else because I was like, nope, I'm not gonna give away that I've already gotten an answer for this. And I'm like, I really want to get this. Again, I'm telling her about the sob story with the 40th anniversary stuff, that we weren't able to get it. And it was really frustrating because it seemed like they were selling out before they even got them onto the shelves. She again tells me, no, we don't have any on hand. She goes, but she looks at the DCPI number and she sees, oh yeah, I see other stores that have them on hand. Here, you want to take a picture of the stores that have them? I'm like, yes. If they have them on hand, I'm like, I will go and I will try and see if I can actually get one. But now I know, because it's a good thing I didn't do this yesterday. You want two, not one, so I was able to go. And I was planning on going to multiple stores. So I go out to the furthest one out. I figured I'll start at the furthest one and I'll work my way back. And I get out there and they had 6 on hand according to the computer screen that I took the picture of. So I'm in there. I find somebody in the toy department. Now, I decided I'm not going to tell them about the whole thing about it not supposed to be in sale, but all I said was, it's supposed to be on hand. Where do I find them? Because it's Star Wars, but it's a board game. So am I going to find it in the board game section, or am I going to find it with all the Star Wars stuff? So he pulls up, he looks it up. Oh yeah, we do. We have 6 on hand. Oh, they're in the back. He goes, how many do you want? And I went, oh my God, 2! I want 2! I'm like, I will take 2! If you will let me have 2, I'm going to get 2! So he goes, and it's like he's taking forever. This is a huge store, by the way. So he had to go quite a distance. And so I'm like kind of walking around, and I see him walking all the way back, and there he is. He has the 2 in his hand, and I'm thinking, oh my God. Now, in the back of my head, I'm also thinking, what happens when I get up to the cashier and they scan it and it says, it can't be sold? I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this anyway. I'm going to do this anyway. And then I get up and I go, they have the self-checkout. I'm going to try the self-checkout, so I don't even have to talk to a person. I can just try and see what happens. Scan it, it takes. Scan it, it takes. I hit pay, put my credit card in, It paid. Receipt? I'm like, I'm getting out of here. I'm not even giving them a chance to say, oh my god, I shouldn't have sold this. This shouldn't have been sold to you. And so I got my 2.
Wow, that's an interesting story. And you are amazing. I love you so much. Mwah.
Love American style, truer than the red, white, and blue. Love American style, that's me and you. And on a star-spangled
Yeah, I'm sure that's how it went down. Finally, a vintage Grand Moff Tarkin, or at least a vintage version of Grand Moff Tarkin. And it comes with the Star Wars Escape from Death Star game. And this is a reproduction of the vintage version that came out. You know what? I actually have the original version. Well, here it is. This is the original Escape from Death Star game. So here is the remake or reissue. The real main difference obviously is there's no Grand Moff Tarkin in the original. Also, you can see something that's different. Whereas this one has a long play seal next to the Kenner logo, this one does not. As you can see here, under this right here, that doesn't say anything, but right here it does. It says, meets or exceeds all safety requirements of product standard 72-76. And then it says something down here. It says, pictorial content 1977 20th Century Fox Film Corporation. So a little bit of difference because that is not on the box right here. Let's see, anything else? Up here at the top you can see that it has a number E6172, whereas on the original vintage it has 40080. Okay, the picture on both boxes are exactly the same. This picture here and these pictures here, and as you can see, it looks the same. Now what about the back? What's different in the back? And this one has Disney, Hasbro Gaming, and of course it has the Grand Moff Tarkin image right there. And it says exclusive Grand Moff Tarkin figure. Let's see what the back of the original has. It just has the board game, showing pieces from the board game. It does, and let's see, it says Kenner Products, Cincinnati, Ohio. This says it's made in Canada. Okay, and it says General Mills right there. General Mills Fun Group, Star Wars Escape from Death Star game. It explains the content. Content game board, 8 playing tokens, 4 Death Star blue print cards, 4 tractor beam cards, spinner, and a deck of Force cards. And this one says, they put it right here, says equipment. This one says content, this one says equipment. Game board, 8 cardboard tokens with plastic bases, 4 Death Star blueprint cards, 4 tractor beam cards, spinner, a deck of 52 Force cards, instructions, Grand Moff Tarkin figure, and accessory. Very cool. And look at the way it is on here. It's a very clear black and white picture of the board game and the accessories, whereas on here, I don't know, maybe it's faded after all these years, but it doesn't look that great. Picture doesn't look that good. Alright, let's see if there's any other, let's see what it says in the back. Star Wars Escape from Death Star game. Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, Han Solo, and Chewbacca are trapped in the Death Star trash compactor. It's your challenge to help them escape to freedom of the Rebel base. R2-D2 spins out your moves, but you must decide what passageways to follow. The safe way is the long way, and time is running out. You must turn off the tractor beam and pick up a set of secret plans. Will you take shortcuts that risk encounters with the Force? You will if you're daring and could be the first to board the Millennium Falcon, fight your way through TIE fighters, and reach the Rebel base to win. For 2 to 4 players. And I noticed that on here it says ages 7 and up, whereas this one says ages 8 and up. And of course, with this being current, it has the address to StarWars.com, StarWars.hasbro.com. Time to open. Okay, so we have this white cardboard that seems to be just to cover, to hold, I guess to hold this. So let's remove this. Ooh, very cool. Here it is, the Grand Moff Tarkin. Vintage Collection Retro Collection Grand Moff Tarkin. Finally. After how many years? Oh, it's cool they use the original vintage style art that came on the first card back. That's awesome. Okay, let's put Grand Moff Tarkin aside for now. And let's look at the game. Okay, we take this out. So it looked like this was just to hold Grand Moff Tarkin. Wow. Okay, we have the plastic bases. We have here are the cardboard tokens that have Han Solo, Chewbacca, Princess Leia, and Luke Skywalker. And they're all in their ceremonial outfit. That's pretty cool, but Chewbacca still doesn't have his medal. Boo. Alright, the rules for playing the game. And here we have the cards. And the spinner. And it looks like these go right here. Nice. And the game board. Interesting, there's this cardboard right here that's just meant to hold the game board in place so it doesn't slide. Fascinating. Let's take this out. And here is the game board. Very cool. Let's make a comparison. Alright, here's my vintage game, and when I open this up, it seems I decided to put the game board on top. Here's the original vintage game board, and here's the new version, which looks exactly the same. One of the main difference is this information right here, which says made in China, 2018 Hasbro. But other than that, everything else looks pretty much the same. Oh, here's the difference. This right here says pictorial content, 1977 20th Century Fox film. General Mills, but this one does not have that. That is the board. Oh, and then this one seems to have a what do you call it? It almost looks like a snake skin, maybe? Like a, yeah, it looks like some skin of something. It's very fascinating. And this is just very plain. This is the new one. Very plain and nothing on it except for little ridges. Now, the instruction sheet. Here's the original instruction sheet. And here is the new instruction sheet. You can see that this is older because it's quite yellowed. And let's see. This one, the new one, has ages 8 and up, where it's not here. And the font is smaller than the original. And they include a picture. On this one only includes 3 things: the cards, the spinner, and the tokens. Whereas this one has blueprint cards and tractor beam card, force card, spinner, and tokens with the base. But it looks like the instructions might be the same, since made the force kind of smaller here. Alright, here's the tokens to the new one. I actually played my original game, so my tokens are loose, but they are pretty much the same looking. You know, this one has 1977, and this one has 2018. Here are the cards from the new deck, and here's the original deck. You can see this one's yellowed a bit, this one's wider. There's the blueprints, and this one says Death Star Blueprints. See if we can find the Han Solo and Chewbacca. Nope, not yet. There it is. Alright, here's the base for the tokens from the original game, and here are the new ones, which look exactly the same. Although this has some kind of dot here, whereas these don't seem to have that. Yeah, these have 2 dots, one there, one there. But these don't have that. So here's the spinner for the new game, and it's this little box, and with R2-D2 and win-lose on it. And here's the original, which is a little bit bigger, and the area for the cards is a lot bigger. The picture looks like it's pretty much the same size. Do they? The spinner is slightly different. This one looks like it's all plastic, whereas this one has a little metal piece in it. Spins really well. This one, well, not so much. Look at that. Look at that spin. Look at this. Come on. Okay. And this one says 2018 Hasbro. This one says 1977. And look at the box on this one again. It has this pattern on it that almost looks like snakeskin. And this one's just plain 2018. This is mean higher quality. Ooh, wow. Now let's take a closer look at Grand Moff Tarkin. And yes, I'm actually going to take him out of the bubble. Here we go. Let's hope it doesn't tear the card back too much. That's not too bad. Let's see. I think there's something in the back. Oh, it has that cradle. That's a bummer. Alright, put that aside. Here we go. Finally, a vintage style Grand Moff Tarkin. Something that's sorely needed for many, many years. And here's his weapon. And he holds it quite well, actually. It's pretty cool. And the weapon looks a lot like the vintage version. And his arms move very smoothly. Legs, very smooth movement. The face is very retro style. Let's see, take his weapon out. Look at his weapon really quick. See if we can get a good up close shot. Okay, this one has a number. What's that? Number 7? Wow. Okay, a number 7 weapon. I guess that's one way of making sure that people know that it's not an original. So let's compare it with an original. But it looks pretty much the same. Interesting that they chose to go with a black blaster. But yeah, they look pretty, wow. Very cool. We'll put his blaster back in his hand. Alright, so his uniform looks very familiar. It's almost like they borrowed his body from another figure. I wonder, could it be that figure right there that they borrowed the mold from? Looks pretty much the same, except maybe this leg has more of the what do you call that? This side has that where it comes out. I don't know what that's called, but it's smoother on this side, but this side is not. So maybe it's not exactly the same, but it's pretty close. The belt buckle is slightly different. You have the markings of here, the rank, I guess, markings. And it looks like he has a little area where he puts something. I don't know what that is. What is that? That's a different detail that's not on this one. But it's very similar, like the arms. You could just paint the hand white and there you go. Wow. Now let's see. Oh, his legs are kind of open wider than this one. But let's see if they went even so far as to create the same type of peg holes for the vintage, because this is a vintage stand. Let's see if it'll fit. Wow, it even has the original size peg holes for the original vintage stands. That is so awesome. I am so happy about this. Yay! Well, that's the Retro Collection Grand Moff Tarkin and Escape from Death Star board game. I think these are pretty cool, especially if they release figures, vintage version of figures that were not made in the 80s. I think I would really enjoy that. So I'm pretty curious to see if these are successful, what Hasbro will release later down the line in a vintage form. Pretty excited about that. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I think it's time for Grand Moff Tarkin to head on over to the Death Star. Hey, thanks for watching Star Wars Obsessed. If you like this video, then give it a thumbs up and click subscribe. Also, click on that bell icon to be alerted to new videos. You can also check out more of my collection at the Star Wars Obsessed blog.